See, slightly late start. Let's see. Oh, that's the only settings for that? There we go. Let's try that. Alright, let's let the internet know we're here and queue up a dark. Let's see. Let's see here. Kind of like Angel versus Corporal Hart, I think is going to be the matchup here. Gonna go to Kurikan. We're going to hit the button and we're going to tell the internet that the wrestling is happening. Let's see. Unfortunately, my audio settings got severely fucked up somehow. Not totally clear on how that is, but if there's some issues with the stream, please let me know, and I will try to correct that. Let's see. I think I am a little higher than I want to be relative to the game. But first, let's tell the internet we're here. Alright, let's copy that. Hey Blake, appreciate you stopping by. Let's see. As I mentioned, almost certainly before people actually got into the stream, something weird happened with my audio, so please let me know if I'm too high, if the game is too low, or vice versa. And actually, game is too low? Alright, cool. That is an easy fix. Let's see. Let's see. Alright, that is now very loud in my speakers. Alright, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and run one of the crowd chants also, just so we can get a picture of how everything sounds together. Alright, cool. Well, glad we're all on the same page, and everything is now very loud. Let's see, this sounds a little bit more reasonable. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Suddenly I opened OBS, and all my audio settings were different. And the crowd chants are also now extremely loud, or extremely low. So yeah, everything is wrong, which is not a great start to, yeah. They turned the game down a little bit. Let me see. Let's see, so game still seems kind of loud, just judging by the equalizer on the deal. Let's see, I'll go ahead and run the crowd chant again. Okay, that seems way better. This is the dark. So that seems way better relative to the game. Like, so I'm coming in clear, the match is coming in clear. Is that the situation here, or is there any further adjustment you think needs to be made? Alright, I'm going to turn the game down a little bit. I don't mind getting overpowered by the crowd chants. Let's see. Because, like, the crowd chants are supposed to be, like, kind of a big thing when they come in. Alright, cool. Yeah, that's something I'm going to have to figure out before I stream next. Exactly what the hell happened in OBS. Because, as far as I'm aware, I've changed nothing. But then everything was messed up. Also, I should probably close Facebook so Facebook notifications don't happen while I'm trying to... maybe. Mawate, yeah! Alright, I'm hell, bringing it home. Definitely should have flashing elbow instead of elbow drop hold as her rope rebound to downed opponent, but otherwise can't be mad at Unhell putting it away with the people's elbow. So, fortunately we had a lot of stuff to work out in the dark match, but we were able to do so, which is fantastic. So, yeah, let me go ahead and welcome you guys to another edition of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. And, just realized a very real issue that I'm going to have. Where I need this game to be muted, because I'm about to do a thing. Let's see, if I were smarter, hold on.
Hey, this is Mark.
Alright, so. Got, well, basically, the problem is the way that I've got my audio directed is, Windows 7 doesn't let you... Oh, hold on. Yeah, I'm doing that. So the way I've got my audio directed is, like, OBS is picking up what's coming out of my headphones, not necessarily things as individual sources. But I think we've got something figured out, so let me... Yeah, so I just set it as a media source, and we should be good. So, Blake's House Wrestling fans, let me... Actually, let me make sure... Yeah, it will almost certainly be loud, and I can bring that down a little bit. But, yeah, Blake's House Wrestling fans, get on your feet and make some noise, because we are about to go live tonight. That's... Alright, that's extremely irritating because it definitely was... Like, I was getting sound through OBS. I can do it the less good way. Hold on a second. You're good. So, yeah, I'm gonna just do this by muting the game temporarily. Let's see. Yeah, and I'll just play it through, yeah, I'll just play it through VLC this week. It's weird, though, because Twitch was telling me that... Or not Twitch, OBS was telling me that something was making some sounds. But, alright, Blake's House Wrestling fans... Let's go ahead and take two. That's why we do this pre-taped. We get an extra opportunity. So once again, get on your feet and make some noise for the new theme of Blake's House Professional Wrestling.
Hey, this is Mark Steely with Big Dog Records PR Department.
And that is the new theme song of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. Of course, that is brought to you by Tap Pool with their original vocalist back in the new lineup for their latest tour. You can find that album exclusively at Wal-Store. Do check for your availability in your area. But so the idea is eventually going to be that is going to run with a real video package of highlights and things of that nature. But yeah, that is the new theme music, executive produced by Mag.Lo himself. But let's just go ahead and get into our first match of the evening as David continuing his fact-finding quest, this time going up against Super Bowl champion Big Dick Nick as he attempts to determine the identity of the boss of Nick's wrestling organization. Let's see. David now walking to the ring with these new Blake's House graphics. As you saw on the open of tonight's show, you're going to be seeing a lot of those over the course of the Blake's House Professional Wrestling, but his opponent this evening, I said, a Super Bowl champion, Nick Foles. otherwise known as Big Dick Nick. David has certainly got his work cut out for him as he gets closer and closer every week to figuring out just who the boss of Nick's wrestling organization really is. As we alluded to last week, he's only got a few more names on his list. You've got to hope that he's at most a couple weeks away. Big boot from Nick Foles. And just making it so difficult for David to get anything going. But that is why Foles is a champion. Clubbing blow to the back. He's just kind of outmaneuvering David here, running the ropes again. David scrambles to his feet, not allowing Foles to put him away that early. That big lariat and locking on that figure four immediately. Foles has been on the gas from the start of this match. David, that enziguri throwback, trying to get into this contest. Double stomp to the chest, followed by a knife edge chop. That is the sort of offense you have come to expect from David. And it is exactly the sort of offense that he is going to need to employ over the course of this contest. Foles once again running the ropes, using that superior athletic ability that he honed to a knife edge on the football field, now bringing it inside the squared circle. Now shooting Foles into that corner turnbuckle. But Foles now going up top, high orange Gatorade district, diving elbow square in the chest of David Clement. Who misses with that chop of his own. Foles just a little bit too agile for him. David now getting that double leg and transitioning into repeated punches to the side of the head, but Foles able to protect himself fairly well, but unable to protect himself from that clubbing blow to the side of the head. Foles attempting a powerbomb, but David rolls through. And a beautiful Rana, but Foles still in control here. David ducking the lariat, but unable to avoid being shot into the ropes. And Foles hitting with that kitchen sink. Goes up top once again, diving elbow. And low blow, just trying to get back into this contest is David here. Devastating shot to the side of the head. David now stacks him up. Is this going to be enough? No, only gets two. David once again with that picture-perfect enziguri. And Foles is struggling here. He's going to need to make one of those superhero comebacks if he wants to win this contest. And beautiful cross chop. Those deadly palms of David's just absolutely working Foles over every step of the way. Flashy roll-up situation. Foles is in trouble. Count two. Foles still has a little bit more in the tank. He delivers a big headbutt now once again, going up top. Diving elbow. Goes up top again. He's not finished. Elbow again. But no. Absolutely devastating powerbomb. That could be enough right there. Now David somehow finds that inner strength to kick out after that devastating powerbomb. David now slams him right in the center of the ring, queuing up for something here. Springboard, oh my god, what? Mag.Lo making his way to the ring. I don't think David's seen him. Foles slamming David to the mat. And Mag.Lo now. Harada has not yet been able to restore order to this contest as he attempts to stretch David out. One. Voldo breaks up the pinfall, not allowing David a fair shot in this contest. Harada now counts. 3-count fall. But that victory certainly tainted by the appearance of Mag.Lo. You've got to figure Mixed Wrestling Organization starting to sweat a little bit as maybe they're thinking that David's getting a little bit too close. One thing I know is that David's going to have a match next week against Mag.Lo. David's going to get to the bottom of this, but the show must go on, folks. We'll check on with David backstage later, as he was unable to defeat Nick Foles in what was supposed to be a one-on-one contest. But, so of course, that is not the only match that is going to be taking place this evening. Of course, we do have the rest of the Judgment Pro Wrestling #1 Contenders Tournament. We have entered round 2. We will actually be going to that extremely shortly. But, of course, we do have several other matches for you guys to look forward to. Tonight's main event, as has been the case for several weeks of the now 22-week run of Blake's House Professional Wrestling, is going to be the Mag.Lo Open Challenge. I've got to say, it is extremely difficult to put on a card when over half of your matches are tournament matches, which is why Mag.Lo has been carrying the load of keeping that main event picture for these last couple weeks, and Mag.Lo has never put on a bad match. So I'm sure you can all look forward to seeing him in tonight's main event again. But let's go ahead and get back to the bracket so we can see what the #1 Contenders picture looks like. So this evening, you've got to look forward to D-Mob against Will Ospreay. That's going to be our first tournament match tonight. We've got Blake's House's own Jordan going up against Josh Pearlman, who put on one heck of a contest, taking out Sterling in the first round. On the latter half of the bracket, we have Mr. Adams, a dazzling upset of his own over Joey Baggy, going up against COLBY. And in our final match of the tournament this evening, we have the only Robert Walsh taking things a bit too far, possibly, against Mr. Smith. You've got to figure there is going to be some retribution once this tournament is over from the firm, but Robert Walsh going to be going head-to-head against Rick the Ruler in our final contest of the evening. But let us go ahead and queue up our first match That, of course, being D-Mob going head-to-head with the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay. And I said a couple weeks ago, D-Mob and JB3 have an excellent business relationship. You've got to figure, if D-Mob were to take the Judgment Pro Wrestling title, that can be looked at from JB3 as keeping that championship in-house. This is a man that he has tagged with on several occasions. And gotta figure there is a bit of a partnership brewing between Judgment Pro Wrestling and D-Mob's stable of fighters. And you've got to figure that JB3 has to want to see Ospreay taken down a peg after besting his enforcer, the Gatekeeper. And D-Mob off to a strong start and being able to do so. As Ospreay just getting thrown around by the larger opponent. Big elbow just crashing down to the face of Ospreay, and Ospreay once again power slam, tight power slam from D-Mob. Ospreay now shooting D-Mob into the ropes, getting a little bit too fancy for his own good, and that could cost him. And D-Mob, just a classic wrestler. Goes for that enziguri, but sidestepped by Ospreay. Ospreay now shot into the corner turnbuckle, but able to protect himself. He locks on that snapmare, but D-Mob to his feet first. Big soul butt kick from the aerial assassin, but D-Mob trying to slow the faster man down, just trying to grind at him with that headlock. Ospreay finally able to get out of it, but Emerald Flosion from D-Mob goes for the cover. That could be enough right there. Like I said, I'm sure JB3 wants to see Ospreay embarrassed over the course of this contest. And thus far, it has been all D-Mob. Diving lariat, just crushing the throat of the aerial assassin. Now the two men standing off. You've got to admire the courage of Ospreay going toe-to-toe with the much larger fighter and able to best him in that exchange. Count of one. D-Mob shot into that orange Gatorade turnbuckle. Picture-perfect European uppercut. Ospreay starting to get a little bit of momentum in this contest. And just as I say that, D-Mob trying to squash any offensive momentum Ospreay has, trying to slow him down, and finally connects that enziguri, trying to take the man's head clean off his shoulders. And Ospreay connecting with that kick, but it doesn't even phase D-Mob. That one will, however, as that will drop him to his knees. But D-Mob, all power, just not allowing Ospreay to get anything significant going. Jacks him up once, twice, 3 times he's planted into the mat. D-Mob goes for that cover. 1, 2. Only 2. But D-Mob will not be deterred. He will drop Ospreay right back on his neck a second time as he goes for the cover yet again. How much left does Ospreay have in the tank? Clearly exactly enough to get out of that pinning predicament. But D-Mob now just trying to choke the life out of him.
Give up.
And this time D-Mob shut down by that kick to the side of the head. Gotta figure being toe-to-toe with the aerial assassin for this long has started to wear on him a little bit. As Ospreay now trying to work both arms of D-Mob. Just grabbing at literally anything he can to slow him down, but it doesn't seem to be enough. D-Mob just, once again, just driving Ospreay's head square into the mat. And now, once again, setting up for that triple powerbomb once, twice, 3 times he's whipped to the mat, but D-Mob not finished, but that could cost him. As Ospreay now gains the upper hand, shoots D-Mob into that orange Gatorade turnbuckle. Forearm smash, and D-Mob struggling to get out of the turnbuckle. And picture perfect shooting star press from Ospreay, but D-Mob to his feet first. The toughness of this man is unparalleled. Dropkick square in the chest from Ospreay. But D-Mob still gets to his feet so quickly after these devastating strikes and slams Ospreay to the mat right on that Whale Boys logo and gets a 3-count fall. And as I said at the start of this contest, you've got to figure JB3 wanted to see Ospreay embarrassed after besting his enforcer. And that is exactly what D-Mob was able to do in that contest. So we are starting to get a picture of what the late round matchups are going to be. I don't even want to attempt to predict who is going to be the victor of Jordan and Josh Pearlman. But either one of them certainly have their work cut out for them, as D-Mob was absolutely on fire in that match. But we will have to cut to that match. Let's go ahead and get back into some Inner Blake's House singles action. You would have seen... Let's see. I do love that logo so very much. You would have seen these two competitors going head-to-head in Fatal 4-Way action last week. We are going to have Sterling and Alphonso in singles action this week, as the rivalries from King of Fighters now manifesting in a Blake's House ring. And Alphonso maybe has something to prove here after being pinned by Sterling last week in the Fatal 4-Way. So let's go ahead and get into this match right now. Sterling, EX character, walking to the ring. And Alphonso, I said, of course, last week's match, Fatal 4-Way action. This time, Sterling and Alphonso don't have anywhere else to go. These two men are going to meet head-to-head in the center of this very ring, and we're going to have to see if Sterling's success will continue. Elbow right across the face from Alphonso. Sterling responds back with a clubbing blow. Sterling trying to find himself a little bit here after breaking away from Warzala out of the tag team picture. Got started in the JPW #1 Contenders tournament, but was a first-round elimination. Sterling really trying to figure out exactly where he stands in Blake's House Professional Wrestling. Of course, as Alphonso would allude to backstage, Sterling and the Money Blake have a little bit of a standing feud going on, but right now, he has got Alphonso directly across from him in the ring, and Alphonso just full head of steam, just trying to shut Sterling down. Alphonso now dumping Sterling to the outside, but he's going to follow. And I think both competitors are extremely willing to just slug it out here. They don't need this to be an officially sanctioned match. Sterling certainly doesn't, as he grabs the chair, swings wildly, but is disarmed by Alphonso, and Harada's count is at 11, while Alphonso locks on a hold.
14, 15, 16.
The count will get to 16 before both men decide to get in the ring, and Alphonso once again just adding injury to insult as he sends Sterling to the outside once again. Sterling to his feet, but drop kick to the back, just picture perfect by Alphonso. Also shot into that corner turnbuckle, but and fisherman suplex, absolutely perfectly executed from Alphonso, but Sterling caught up in the ropes. Harada unable to start the count. Sterling to his feet, but Alphonso wants absolutely none of that patented Warzala-style elbow drop from Sterling, so he will avoid that. Bit of a fake out here, and oh my god, just absolutely gruesome. Sterling trying to break the fingers of Alphonso. Sterling switches and shotgun drop kick square in the chest. Sterling once again shooting Alphonso into the opposite corner. Oh my god, what's Sterling doing here? Chop to the throat after walking halfway coast to coast here. And now it is Sterling's turn, being shot into that orange Gatorade turnbuckle. Fireman's carry buster from Alphonso. And Sterling just with that amazing display of power. This match could absolutely go either way. Sterling showing that total disregard for the rules of this contest. You saw him bring out that steel chair earlier, as he does repeated mounted punches, clubbing blow from Sterling, but Alphonso once again with that fireman's carry buster, but Sterling just refuses to stay down. Alphonso now pulling out all the stops to try and put Sterling away, but Sterling is making it so incredibly difficult. And that spear just out of nowhere is tries to work the knee now of Alphonso, trying to take his base away from him.
10 minutes
And running knee to the gut from Alphonso, and absolutely gorgeous shooting star press. He's going up top and hits another one for good measure. Ushigoroshi just once again working the neck of Alphonso here. Now it's Sterling going up top and just double stomp, moonsault, 2. But not enough to put Alphonso away. This fight will continue. Alphonso now. Hits that spine buster, but Sterling responding back with repeated chops to the chest. And Sterling hitting that fire right in the eyes of Alphonso. Alphonso once again, perfect flex. Now going with that down knee, taking his legs out from under his legs, goes up top. And this time flipping senton. Sterling just shuts him down. Big Emerald Flosion and Moonsault. That's got to be enough. 1, 2, 3 count fall from Sterling. And if there was any doubt that Sterling could do it in singles action after last week's Fatal 4-Way, that doubt has got to be erased here. But that match clearly took a lot out of Sterling, as that was just an absolute barn burner of a contest between Sterling and Alphonso. So we will have to follow Sterling's progress as he continues to figure out just where he fits into the Blake's House professional wrestling picture. Gotta figure he, along with many others, gunning for Terrell's heavyweight title. But exactly what that title picture is going to look like, we'll have to wait, as we are getting right back into some Judgment Pro Wrestling Championship picture events, as we're going back to the tournament to see Jordan going head-to-head with Josh Pearlman. Jordan now making his way to the ring, representing Blake's House in this JPW #1 Contenders tournament. Gotta figure the home team is cheering for him, but at this point, the JPW competitors have certainly made a name for themselves on Blake's House TV. They have become fan favorites of their own rights, and we have got Josh Pearlman now of the Pearlman Brothers making his way to the ring, as he is trying to get the crowd on his side as he takes on Jordan this evening. Jordan hip throw to start this contest. With how rarely you see him on television, you forget just what sort of an athlete Jordan is, but he is just a deadly grappler, and showcasing that suplex right into a moonsault. He wants to make it known he is here to win this whole thing. Less than a minute into this contest. The ropes and elbow right to the side of the head, but Josh now repeated strikes, falling fist. Both competitors shot out of a cannon in this match. And Jordan going with that patented bear hug that he's used to great effect. But Pearlman will not be submitted even after yet another bear hug. Now once again going up top, and once again falling fist. Just trying to punish Jordan here. Got both competitors slugging it out. Jordan coming out on top in that exchange. But Josh now locks on that chin lock here, just trying to slow Jordan down a little bit, as Jordan has just been going full force over the course of this contest. Wait a minute. Absolutely devastating sit-out powerbomb, and that was nearly enough right there. Jordan responding back. Gory special. So Josh, once again, another sit-out powerbomb. If Jordan came into this match wanting to make a statement that he means business, Josh certainly responding back with some emphatic statements of his own. Double knee drop off the top rope. And once again, just goes for that hip throw. When all else fails, you know you've got a handful of moves that you know you can go to, and that hip throw seems to be one of them for Jordan. Once again goes up top and double knee drop off the top rope, but Pearlman seems to have rolled through it. Seems to have rolled through it. Jordan putting him in a pinning predicament, but fortunately for Pearlman, he was able to get his foot on the ropes, and this match will continue. Jordan seemed to be looking a little bit winded after that exchange. That drop kick to knee certainly is not going to help Jordan stay on his feet. It seems Josh Pearlman also a little bit winded. Looks like Jordan going back to that gory especial, dropping him right in front of that orange Gatorade turnbuckle. And Jordan with that miss just obscuring Pearlman's vision, but he's able to hit that finishing hold so effectively. Obscured vision or otherwise, but Jordan just narrowly able to get a shoulder up, and this match will continue. Now Jordan repeated strikes to the chest, to the stomach, to the head. Pearlman unable to protect himself from that bicycle kick, and he is out on his feet. But despite that, despite just how difficult a time he's having, quite literally seeing his opponent, Josh Pearlman is still able to effectively deliver offensive after offensive effort. And there is that spear, and that could do it right there. 2, 3. And Josh Pearlman winning it for Judgment Pro Wrestling, trying to keep that championship within their stable, and I can't say I blame them for that extra effort put forth by Josh Pearlman. So we now know exactly who is going to be taking on D-Mob, and in some semi-final action. As I said, you've got to admire the hunger of Josh Pearlman. Ordinarily a tag team wrestler, besting Sterling in the first round and executing a spectacular comeback against Jordan in the second round. You can tell just how much pride that he's got in his home promotion, that he wants to be the one to have his hand raised at the end of those two matches. Well, we will have to see how he fares against D-Mob next week, as we will be getting into the third round then. But actually, on the subject of some intra-promotional action, we've got another Blake's House versus JPW match. You saw him teased last week in the Battle Royal. Of course, we have the singles debut of Flaming Kurt London, a luchador from Judgment Pro Wrestling, and he is going to be going head-to-head against Antonio Del Valle in some singles action. So let's go ahead and get to that match right now. London once again making his way to the ring in his singles debut. Can certainly appreciate the effort that he put forth in the Mag.Lo Battle Royal last week, but this will certainly be a much better showcase of his skills. We're going to have to see how well he fares against the Joker enthusiast himself, Antonio Del Valle. Both competitors well known for their lucha-style offense, although Antonio has a bit of a grappling base that he goes to from time to time as well. You can see him hit that drop toe hold. So we're going to have to see exactly how Antonio attempts to tackle the Kurt London problem that he's going to be posing in this match. Kurt London, I'm sure, as you've seen from just the little you have seen from him in a Blake's House wrestling ring, certainly a flashy competitor, a man that has never shied away from the glitz and the glamour of professional wrestling as he springboards off the ropes that he was shot into by Antonio just moments ago. Antonio electing to try and wear him down. Oh my god, butterfly twist right out the gate from Kurt London. And as I said, London was going to pose a problem for Antonio, and it is a problem Antonio is yet to really be able to solve over the course of this match. Back switch from London, back switch from Antonio, clubbing blow to the neck and shoulders. I think Antonio's starting to get the picture. He's going to have a great deal of difficulty matching London's speed, and it might have to be power and brutality is how he tackles this contest. That seems to be the direction he's going here. But Kurt London just matching him every step of the way. With an attitude that seems to scream style over strategy, but when your strategy is your style, that can prove to be just as effective.
Ask him.
And Antonio demanding Harada come and check to see if Kurt London would be submitted by that hold. But London has a lot more gas left in the tank here. And London launching Antonio to the outside, but elects not to follow. He's going to wait it out. Be the lone man standing in the center of the ring, making some sort of statement here. Antonio going for that capo kick, unable to find his mark. Antonio just punting London, just risking severe damage to those glasses. And this time, London getting a back switch and picture-perfect drop kick to the upper back of Antonio.
Ask him.
And once again, just stretching London out here. Demanding Harada check on London, but London able to get a hand on the rope. Drop kick to the side of the head. Sunset flip powerbomb seemingly out of nowhere. That will get a 2 count from Harada. Shining axe kick As London rolls through, 1, 2. Just London so graceful, so dazzling to watch as a performer. And it seems that he can put you in a pinning combination from just about anywhere. Thus far, Antonio's been on his toes for every single attempt.
10 minutes left.
Now London just making himself so elusive, so difficult to pin down. Pop-up cutter from Antonio. As I said, it's so difficult for him to match London for speed. Standing Shiranui and just posing for the crowd a little bit here. London taking it all in. Oh my God. And Kurt London showing exactly what he is all about in a Blake's House wrestling ring when he is given a moment to shine. The spotlight never too bright for flaming Kurt London. And I gotta say, Gatekeeper, you made one hell of a wrestler, because that was a very fun match to watch. But, actually, before we get into the rest of the tournament, let's go ahead and figure out just who is going to be facing Mag.Lo in tonight's main event. So, as always, Mag.Lo Battle Royal contestants are submitted by you to determine just who is going to be facing Mag.Lo at the end of tonight's show. Let me see if I have a mic, but I can certainly do that if I do have one of those things. Let's see here. One thing I will do, just for a little bit of narrative cohesion, I'm going to put Sterling in this. Alright, I do not have a Mai. Shit, no, I did not get your Lars. So it looks like Mai can also not be in Blake's House Wrestling. Let's see. Talking about this gentleman right here. I can do that. Actually, don't hate the idea of the Battle Royal being a spot to debut some characters. Alright. Oops. Let's see. I can see somebody asking for... Alright, so we got 4 names filling this card up. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to veto the Rapture only because the Rapture, as far as I'm aware, hasn't been rebalanced yet and is still, like, way too strong for, like, regular singles matches. What I could do... Let's see. I can do Ippo. Let's get Ippo in there. Could put the share zone in there. Let's see. We do have one person from JPW, a new competitor, Sean Satchwell. Alright, I will put in the share zone. Let's see, nobody from NWO yet. We can certainly make that happen. Once again, like, the share zone, very much like Drill, is somebody that I really can't explain to somebody that has not been poisoned by the internet. Also, Nick's Wrestling Organization has its own logo, which is very cool. You know what? Actually, this wouldn't be a bad time to, like, try and get Floyd Bartholomew's, like, singles debut. Because he was so dominant in the, yeah, he was so dominant in the trios picture. We'll have to see how well he handles himself in the singles and Battle Royal scene. But that's going to leave one more slot. Yeah, we can put in Alphonso. Let's see. So, alright, that's going to be the 8 competitors that, as I said earlier, they are challenging for the right to face Mag.Lo in tonight's Mag.Lo Open Challenge. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get right into this contest. And we're jumping in, and as it always is at the start of these, it is absolute chaos as Holloway getting passed around between the share zone and Griffith. While Bartholomew is delivering that worm chop to Sterling. So incredibly difficult to keep track of just who is doing what in this contest. But one thing I would recommend is you keep an eye on Sean Satchwell, new competitor of Judgment Pro Wrestling. Because if Kurt London was any indicator, this new crop of competitors are certainly some people you will have to keep an eye on. But that is not to say that you know exactly how dominant Floyd Bartholomew can be if you let him. So we will have to see if he is able to brave 7 other competitors in this Battle Royal setting. See if he is the one that's going to be getting his hand raised and going on to face Mag.Lo in tonight's main event. Griffith just biding his time in the bottom section of the ring here. Now going head-to-head with the Swashbuckler and El Idolo. and seems to be handling himself quite well. You see Ippo just laying into the share zone with repeated blows to the side of the head. Backdrop and STO from the share zone, and Ippo and Holloway is in trouble. Sterling, amazing display of power. Gorilla press directly on top of Ippo. And Ippo slugging it out with Sterling. Ordinarily, I would say you do not want to challenge a boxer to a test of who can punch better, but if there's anybody I trust with that, it would be Sterling. As he starts to now work the knees of Satchwell. And you saw Sterling just take that left cross from Ippo and just stand still as if nothing happened. I don't know if it's durability or if it's stubbornness, but he just refuses to go down to those just devastating shots that you know Ippo's got cranked back in those arms.
Are you ready?
Mag.Lo was previously working the arms of the share zone, but been caught up here. Mag.Lo just surprise roll up out of nowhere as Holloway catches him with that knee bar. Griffith just working the arms of everybody that he's able to get an advantageous position over. You see once again Floyd going with that worm chop, buries it in the chest, and Mag.Lo was eliminated, distracted by Bartholomew near the top of the ring. And the first member of Nick's Wrestling Organization in this contest is eliminated. However, as I said, you keep your eyes on Floyd Bartholomew, a competitor that was just so incredibly effective in trios action. If he can get his hands raised in this match, he will be going on he will get a jetpack put on him into tonight's main event. And once again, STO and suplex just folding Bartholomew up in that orange Gatorade turnbuckle. Super kick! Sterling trying to work the legs of Bartholomew. Just gotta figure, excellent bit of strategy trying to take the big man's base out from underneath him, but this match still entirely too chaotic as Swashbuckler eliminated, but if last week's show into this week is any indicator, you're going to want to keep an eye on him for his singles debut. Oh my god, just devastating liver blow from Ippo. Sterling kicking out of that patented sit-out, sit-down hold from Bartholomew, that maneuver that has won him so many trios title defenses. Big super kick from Griffith. And James seemingly asking Harada for shit, or excuse me, that would be Mario in this case. But broken up by the share zone. The share zone sending Bartholomew packing as he is dumped to the outside.
Give up, give up, give up, give up. 1, 2.
And another big STO and suplex, this time to Sterling. And we're starting to get a clearer picture of what this match might be. Oh my god. That flying armbar in the share zone, breaking that up to rake the face of Griffith, and you got to admit, this man deserves every bit of it. Share zone just stretching Sterling out with that 3-in-1 hold, and Sterling Ushigoroshi just dropping Griffith on his neck.
1, 2, 3.
And while that three-way dance happening in the lower part of your screen, you can see James getting an elimination over Ippo. And as I don't want to say you can't put any stock into these battle royals, as that was certainly Ippo being bested in a singles contest at the tail end of that elimination. Big Emerald Explosion, but Griffith able to get to his feet, and Sterling unable to capitalize. He did the deal. Nobody kicks out of the Falcon Arrow, but Sterling somehow finding that inner strength to do so, as Griffith eliminates the share zone via armbar, and we are down to Sterling. We are down to Griffith. We are down to James Holloway as the final three competitors in this contest. And Holloway with that Persona 450 just devastating to the back. Unclear with these three competitors left in this match exactly whose alliances are with here. We are down to Holloway and Griffith as the final two competitors. Holloway going up top, Persona 450. But Griffith able to get a foot on the ropes. Holloway a little bit distracted. You got to figure this late in the match, fatigue starting to set in. Spin out power bomb. Holloway once again going up top. He's waiting for something. Rolls through, and once again, just the tactical genius of Griffith, just being so extremely aware of where he is in the ring, able to get a foot on the ropes. But Holloway just shutting Griffith down. Clearly setting up for something here. What's he got cooking? Rolls through with that Rana, but Griffith immediately to his feet. Northern Lights into a cross arm breaker, but now it is James getting his foot on that bottom rope and protecting himself. So the cover, this could be it right here.
2, 3.
No. And your winner of tonight's Mag.Lo Battle Royal is Griffith. Holloway so very close. So extremely close to getting put on that rocket ship to tonight's main event. But it will be Griffith that advances to face Mag.Lo tonight. You know, sometimes it's like that. Sometimes the local fan favorite gets beaten by the guy they brought in to sell tickets. And I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, you put Griffith on a poster, people will pay $15 to boo Griffith. That's my understanding of how wrestling works. Now, I'll have that thought and opinion on hold depending on how tonight's main event goes. Because I certainly do not want to see... certainly do not want to see the face of the company being submitted by Griffith. You know, part of it is also, like, you're not in a lot of singles matches, despite probably would do better in singles matches. But we're working on some stuff. We got some irons in the fire to kind of make that a thing. But that is some kind of... that is a little bit of inside baseball. Let's go ahead and get into the next match in the JPW number 1 Contenders tournament. And that, of course, being Mr. Adams of the firm with that ultimate upset against one of the favorites in this tournament, Joey Baggi, going up against COLBY, who admittedly has had somewhat mixed success in a Blake's House wrestling ring over the last several weeks. So we're going to have to see just what sort of momentum COLBY can muster up, because Mr. Adams is certainly riding an incredible high after that first round victory. So let's go ahead and get into this match right now and see how either of these competitors handle themselves. Of course, Mr. Adams of the firm, rocking those brand new red suits, celebrating their Blake's House Tag Team Championship win. Actually, on the subject of the tag division, if you were tuned in last week to watch COLBY take on Ryan Pearlman, another one of the JPW tag team mainstays, it took him 5 atomic lariats to put Ryan Pearlman away. Is he going to... oh my god, both of them coming out the gate, literally swinging. But it was Mr. Adams that was able to connect first. Big backdrop from COLBY, and it looks like COLBY... you don't need to get ready if you stay ready, and it looks like COLBY does not need to get mad as he walked out of the ring, or out from backstage, pissed off. Big standing guillotine from Mr. Adams. And this match is going to be an all-out brawl. All right. Both competitors would be just as home in a wrestling ring as they would be in a pool hall. So just expect a lot of clubbing blows, a lot of closed fists, and that boot right to the gut. And now it is Mr. Adams just trying to break the back of COLBY. COLBY responding back with that massive slam, runs the ropes, but Mr. Adams to his feet just a little bit too quick for him. And there is that devastating lariat of Mr. Adams. And that was nearly enough to put COLBY away. COLBY just struggling here. As I said, Mr. Adams has so much momentum. He beat what's, I would say, pretty universally agreed to be one of the toughest competitors in Judgment Pro Wrestling on last week's show. The sky is the limit for Mr. Adams. COLBY now rolls through, only gets a 1 count. Big backdrop, and Mr. Adams is completely in control in this contest. COLBY trying to literally wrestle that control out of the hands of Mr. Adams, but it's such an uphill battle thus far. Is he setting up? Ooh, going for that atomic lariat, but so well scouted by Mr. Adams. COLBY, big headbutt, and responding back is Mr. Adams with a lariat of his own. Gotta figure Mr. Adams going for that devastating lariat. He calls it the motion to squash, trying to squash the hopes and dreams of COLBY's tournament life. COLBY just, man, has got so much heart. But Hart is not good enough. Mr. Adams running the ropes, goes for that motion to squash, but this time it is COLBY that has that lariat scouted. And I mentioned it earlier, both of these competitors just make use of that brawler style. They are so very familiar with each other's offense because it is their own offense. COLBY now running the ropes. This time not electing to go for that atomic lariat, trying to surprise Mr. Adams a little bit. Goes with an elbow right to the chest, follows by a spear. And it looks like COLBY's trying to mix up his offense a little bit, trying to have Mr. Adams off guard. And it seems like it's working a little bit here as the crowd starts to get behind him. Ooh, devastating head hold lariat from Mr. Adams, but COLBY to his feet immediately. And slams straight into the center of the ring. Roaring elbow, but it is sidestepped by Mr. Adams. Goes for the cover after that pump handle slam. And this time it is Mr. Adams barely able to get his shoulder up.
10 minutes gone.
Big backdrop. Mr. Adams needs a moment to catch his breath, as COLBY has been on fire these last couple minutes, but Mr. Adams trying to extinguish the flame with those closed fists right to the face. COLBY shoots Adams, goes to that big boot, but once again, their styles are so similar. It's so difficult for either man to get anything going. COLBY, lariat, oh! 1, 2. Still, it's not enough. And big swinging neckbreaker. Mr. Adams trying to take this back to basics a little bit here. Trying to use COLBY's own strategy now. Trying to change up his offensive style. As that proved to be so successful for COLBY, but despite that, COLBY unable to get that 3-count victory that you know he needs. COLBY now running the ropes again, possibly setting up. Lariat! Oh! And there is the COLBY that we knew he could be. That is the COLBY before we got Blake's House TV. That is the COLBY that would show up every week. That is the COLBY that is the reason that maneuver is called the Atomic Lariat. So absolutely devastating. that it can crush any man in its path. And Colby walks to the back as the crowd chants his name. Yeah, a little bit of audio issues there. Yeah, a little bit of audio issues. The crowd mic was not live, but we managed to rectify that just fine. And I think the JPW analysts put it exactly correctly. Both competitors, Mr. Adams going for the motion to squash, Colby going for the atomic lariat. Both of them attempted to hit it so many times in that match. Both of them connected once. Neither man was able to get that pinfall victory. Colby was the first man to connect with that finishing hold, that sure killing blow in the atomic lariat, before Mr. Adams was able to connect with the second motion to squash. And both competitors were on their last legs by that point in the match, but Colby able to pull it out with that devastating blow, dragging his bicep right across the throat of Mr. Adams. I do gotta say, this tournament was just a huge success in general. Because for the most part, we do a lot of like inner stable matches. I do like how your wrestlers and my wrestlers are playing off each other. And, like, they're just putting on spectacular matches. So, I'm gonna pat myself on the back here because, you know, this is a good show. Hey, that is not to take away from, like, your characters, Nick. To be clear, that is, like, within the context of the show, like, JPW and BHW are basically, like, I don't know if Raw and SmackDown is the right way to put it. But there's clearly an alliance between those two brands, so those wrestlers are going to be on screen together more frequently. Right now, we're in an arc where Nick's wrestling organization is like an adversarial company. So, like, that's just like a different dynamic. Yeah, you could look at it that way. Actually, like, with the current NXT arc, where NXT is, like, raiding Raw and SmackDown, you could certainly look at it that way, if we were to frame it strictly in, like, WWE's framing. But, right now, let us go ahead and jump into some KOF TV title action. So, we have got the defending KOF TV champions, the American Sports Team, with two Bryan Battlers. We're going to need some challengers for that KOF TV championship. Alright, we can put Clark in this team. All right, what do we got? We've got exactly one member. All right. Got the chat calling for some NWO wrestlers. We can make that happen. And actually, let's see. Oops, going the wrong way. Do you recall, let's see. You want the bear? We can put the bear in this match. Let's see. Bear and Brad Chad? Alright, we can make that happen. That's true. We have not. Like, he kind of got forgotten about, which is... Basically, I have the same problem that... Jim Jack was on last week, but I think he was on the Battle Royal. I have the same problem that, ironically, WWE has, where, like, I'm just going to forget that certain aspects of my show exist. And in that sense, the Shoot League title has not been defended, basically since Eric lost it several weeks ago, and the Heavyweight Championship has also not been defended since Terrell won it. Admittedly, part of the issue is right now, because of the tournament, 4 matches of my... Yeah, we could make that happen. You know what, let's book that next week. And actually what I was about to get at is, because of the tournament taking up 4 match slots on a 10-match card every week for the past 2 weeks and this week, it's really difficult to have other matches. But because we're getting later on into the bracket, we're going to have some more slots open up. And yeah, we could certainly have some... we could certainly have the MMA division start being a thing again, and start having the Blake's House Heavyweight division be a thing again once the room on the card opens up. But once again, that is a lot of talk about producing the show, and not as much actually running the show, as you guys are here to see some professional wrestling. So let's go ahead and have this Blue Gatorade team going up against the defending champions, the American Sports Team. Clark still walking out to the ring with Brad Chad, and fan favorite of Nick's wrestling organization, I'm a Bear. We're going to have to see how well they handle themselves against the now 3 weeks defending champions, the American Sports Team. Brian Battler, Lucky Auber, and Brian Battler. I can hear people chanting for the Bear from the front row. Unfortunately, they're going to have to wait, as the matchup that I believe both teams are going to be opening with, Clark Still against Brian Battler. Battler going for that football tackle immediately. there are few competitors that can win a test of strength against Clark Still, but Battler is somebody that I would believe could go toe-to-toe with Still. And thus far, he is doing quite well for himself. Ooh, Clark going for that standing D, but sidestepped by Battler. And it looks like that blue Gatorade team giving the fans what they want immediately here, bringing I'm a Bear into this contest. And I suppose it is important to point out this match will be taking place under King of Fighters 11 rules. You need to eliminate all 3 members of the opposing team, and you are not permitted to assist by leaving the apron if you are not the legal competitor. That is why when the Bear was dumped to the outside, no one on that blue Gatorade team came in to assist, as they will not be allowed to do so over the course of this contest. You see Battler trying to work the arm of I'm a Bear, but I'm a Bear with that animal strength. But we're bringing Brad Chad into this match now. Brad Chad's someone we have not seen in several weeks. We'll have to see if ring rust plays a factor in this match. Brad Chad showcasing that wrestling ability. That is what brought him to the dance in the first place, and I believe Brad Chad was Drew Serpa's first opponent on Blake's House TV in a straight-up wrestling match. And right now, he's just using that technical ability to just outmaneuver Battler at every step, and that's sending him back to his own corner, as we have got Lucky back in this match. And now Lucky and Chad slugging it out. Chad bringing this match back into that blue Gatorade corner. As Lucky delivers elbow drop after elbow drop. Big elbow from Lucky, but it's like the NWO competitors. Brad Chad bringing I'm a Bear back into this contest. I'm a Bear, best known for being an actual bear in a wrestling ring, but a well-trained bear at that. Bear running the ropes and kicked right into the ribs. Just trying to take the life out of Lucky here as he goes back to his own corner. And I'm a Bear and Battler, just two bull-headed competitors slugging it out. Battler coming out on top. Runs the ropes and now able to connect with that football tackle, sending I'm a Bear right to the mat. Battler goes for the cover. Count 2. Clark literally fighting his way into the ring, but will be shot into that orange Gatorade corner and avoids that spear as Battler's head and neck just go colliding with that corner post. Big shoulder breaker from Clark Still, and this is certainly a matchup we've seen a lot of. Maybe not a lot of in the last 20 years or so. But Brian Battler and Clark Still have definitely gone head-to-head in the streets. Clark now going up top. Big diving elbow. Jumping C off the top rope. You gotta figure Battler trying to set up for that football tackle once again, but Brad Chad just too crafty.
10 minutes gone.
Too technically savvy. That That is why he is known as the best in the world, as he lifts and drops Battler onto his neck repeatedly. And just as I said, Chad is so wily, so prepared. He does get speared out of his shoes by Brian Battler. And that's going to send him back to his own corner as Clark is back into this contest. And now Battler using that Shenjo style of fighting. When in doubt, throw your body at your opponent. And it proved to be extremely effective, as that missile-like headbutt dumps Clark right onto the mat. Now the American sports team playing a little bit dirty here, allowing Lucky to connect with that massive shot. And Harada choosing not to get involved. He is going to let these teams fight. Big jumping B off that top rope. And Ama-Bear now working the eyes, and now going for that scissor sleeper, or that mounted sleeper rather. Just trying to crush the life out of Lucky. And Lucky now going back to his own corner, because that hold was just absolutely devastating. Brian just power bombing the bear to the mat. But Ama-Bear will fight on. Battler psyching himself up and delivers that absolutely devastating football-style tackle. And Clark just with that improvised catch-as-catch-can style hold. Clark diving guillotine off the top. Big standing D from Clark once again. And gotta figure, there's got to be some resentment from the American sports team that the Akari Warriors have been invited back to KOF year in and year out, but they have not. Battler attempting to exercise that resentment here with an elimination over Clark still, but Clark rolls through, backslide cover, and that was nearly it right there. Clark going back to his own corner. Open palm strike will floor Brad Chad. Battler once again running the ropes and spears him directly into the mat. Battler, big power bomb, but he's not finished. But he is cut off by Brad Chad, and no, Battler to his feet first. Gets a count of 2. And this match could go any way, folks. We are 20 minutes into this contest, not one elimination yet. I can't even begin to tell you how this is going to go. Big DDT from Battler. It looks like Battler going back to his own corner. Now Brian Battler into this match. Big running STO, and that's going to send Brad Chad back to his own corner. Big shoulder breaker from Clark. Clark running the ropes. And flashing elbow right into the heart of Battler. Got to figure Battler has felt so many of those. Oh my God, what's he going for? Oh my God, deadly spear right into the center of the ring. But it's not enough to put Clark away. Clark going that rolling death cradle. Cover 1, 2. And even that won't put Battler away. Ushigoroshi right onto the neck. And now Battler, once again, that devastating spear, but it doesn't seem to be enough. Running slam, hitting Clark with that own running powerbomb that he's used so many times. And that is what's going to do it. That is what's going to eliminate Clark. And the American sports team are now getting into gear here against this Blue Gatorade Challenger team. Lucky now going up top. Jumping B off the top rope. And it's Lucky employing the scissors sleeper on the bear. This could be part of a bigger strategy from the American sports team. They know the signature holds that their opponents like to go to, and it seems almost disrespectful that they're attempting to end matches with their own maneuvers. And the bear now bringing Lucky back to that blue Gatorade corner. And it is Alma Bear locking on that mounted sleeper. And Lucky will be submitted. We are down one elimination apiece. Big lariat from Brian Battler. Just too close to the ropes. But this will not be that backslide cover. That could be it right there. No, only two. But Brad Chad seems to be fired up here.
What?
Big sit-out lariat, but Battler to his feet immediately, and he responds back with repeated knees to the chest. And Vertebreaker just crushing the skull. Right into a diving senton, but Brad Chad so crafty, able to get to his feet before that senton connects. Big frog splash. Count two. And Lucky trying to get himself involved in this match once again. Big spear once again from Battler. But picture perfect suplex from Brad Chad. But looks like it will be Brian Battler going head to head against Amabear. Big drop kick, but it's going to take more than that to keep this bear down. Bear shoots the big fire, doesn't hit its mark. Battler running powerbomb right back into that orange Gatorade corner. And 3 count fall, and now Brad Chad is going to have to carry this load all by himself against Brian Battler. This could be it here if he connects. Stacks him up with that powerbomb. 3 count fall, and the American sports team will once again be victorious in defending the King of Fighters TV title. Let me see how many defenses they're at, because we might be in another situation where... I'm not going to do that tonight, but that could be a thing, even non-title. Let me see. But, yeah, let me see how many title defenses they've got. Let's see. Alright, so they are 3 wins in. Actually, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do a, hey, if they defend it 5 times, we just hang up the jersey. Or they defend it 4 times, because that'll be 5 victories. It pushes the update when I load the game. So if we did that, we could make that the dark match tonight. Which I'd be cool with. Just instead of having a dark, we'll have a exhibition of the Rapture against the American sports team. So let's just go ahead and do that. So that way, we get to see that matchup with a still like supernaturally powerful the Rapture. And then afterward, we'll have the like more balanced for competitive matches, the Rapture, for use at later things. But yeah, what I was saying is, hey, if you've defended it 4 times, you won it once, and then you win 5 weeks in a row, we hang up your jersey and then have a new thing. Because my intention for that championship is, hey, let's have some weird characters get a moment to shine in, like, regular, like, in a non-battle royal type match. That's my intention for that match, but, like, if it's not fun for you guys, I could just not run it. And, yeah, I can do that for a minute after we go off air. I've got a feeling I know what you want to talk about. But we can kind of go over some shit after we go off air. But I guess this is a decent time to drive up some capital E engagement. But are you guys actually enjoying that match on the card? Because I could strike it out. Like, I could strike that match entirely if it's not fun for y'all. But let's go ahead while you guys have a moment to mull that over. Get into the final match of the second round. The only Robert Walsh going head-to-head against Rick the Ruler. So let us go ahead and jump into that match right now. And we'll find out who's going to the semifinals. Robert Walsh walking to the ring after a somewhat controversial contest against Mr. Smith of the Firm, quite literally beating the man bloody over the course of that match. You've got to figure there's retribution in store for him once this tournament wraps up. But right now, the focus of Robert Walsh has got to be on getting through this opponent this week, and potentially over the next 2 weeks, 2 more opponents to get an opportunity to win the Judgment Pro Wrestling Heavyweight title. Slick Rick going for that Tony Jaa knee strike. And Robert, once again, going for that brutal offense that he used so effectively last week. Just a minute into this match, already going for the choke. Goes up to the top rope. Thinks better of it as he sees Slick Rick stirring, getting to his feet before he's able to hit his dive. Rick the Ruler, of course, well-documented submission specialist. But Robert Walsh not going to give him opportunities to grab a hold. As you saw, as soon as Slick Rick took his back, Robert Walsh comes out swinging with that low blow. And that is the kind of style of fighting. Oh my God. Devastating Tony Jaa from Slick Rick, and Robert Walsh sending him to the outside. Oh my God. What's he doing? Oh, suicide dive off the top rope directly into the barricade.
7, 8.
And double arm DDT on the outside. Harada's count at 11.
13, 14, 15.
But Robert does not seem to care. He just wants to beat Slick Rick up. And once again, locking on that choke. This is that style of fighting that is not going to make him friends in the locker room. But at this point in the match, Robert does not seem to care. But Slick Rick now finally able to grab a hold and start to work the arm of Robert Walsh. That is going to be the difference maker for Slick Rick in this match. Oh my God, that kick right to the side of the head, finding its mark. That is going to be a difference maker for Slick Rick. If he is able to disable Robert Walsh,
5 minutes gone.
that is going to be how he wins this contest. But thus far, Robert just in complete control, taking it to Slick Rick every step of the way. That is why he is the only Robert Walsh.
Over.
Roaring elbow, but a headbutt from Walsh, swinging wildly with that lariat. Doesn't find its mark, but a double arm DDT will. And he goes for the cover.
1, 2.
After the punishment he has delivered, that was all it took to put Slick Rick away. I mean, you saw Robert was absolutely shot out of a cannon at the start of this contest. Diving off the top rope, 15 feet onto the floor. And causing Slick Rick to crash into that barricade. Robert Walsh knew he had that match won at that moment. And that is why he is the only Robert. So let's go ahead and get a preview for next week's show, as the matchups are going to be absolutely outrageous. Our first tournament match of next week, of course, being D-Mob against Josh Pearlman. D-Mob, as I said earlier on in the show, was almost certainly instructed to embarrass Will Ospreay in that second round contest, and that is exactly what he did. But he is going up against a Josh Pearlman, the likes of which we have never seen before, as momentum is completely on his side, besting both Sterling and Jordan in barn burners of contests. Is D-Mob going to be able to overcome momentum? Or is Josh Pearlman going to be able to fight his way into the finals of this tournament? And of course, let's go ahead and take a look at the other side of the bracket. COLBY, the last hope of Blake's House Wrestling, is going up against Robert Walsh. Now, certainly, COLBY absolutely devastated Mr. Adams with that atomic lariat, but Robert Walsh made such short work of Slick Rick and just brutalized Mr. Smith to a degree that we have never seen before. if the momentum of Josh Pearlman is something we can speak about, certainly we can speak about the momentum of Robert Walsh. And that is a mountain that COLBY is going to have to climb if he wants to advance to the finals. But that is all for next week, as we have one more match officially sanctioned on tonight's card. That, of course, being the Mag.Lo Open Challenge. So give me just a moment. Let me get Mag.Lo and his opponents queued up here. And we will be starting the match very shortly. And actually, there is one thing that is very nice is we get to flex the DLC a little bit. You know, like, I was expecting a Gatekeeper Joey Grand Finals. That is how I booked it, by putting them on opposite ends of the bracket. But I have been pleasantly surprised by the way the tournament has gone. Because, I mean, wrestling loves an underdog story. You know, Josh Pearlman, like, really putting the company on his back and showing, like, hey, even the tag team division has a right to the heavyweight title picture. Like, that's a cool story. And Robert just beating the hell out of people. Like, that's a different style of wrestling than would be than you would have seen if Joey made his way into the finals. So yeah, it's good stuff. Wrestling is good, actually, as it turns out. I don't know if y'all know that. But I have got both Mag.Lo and his opponent tonight, Griffith, in the gorilla position. We are getting ready for tonight's main event, the Mag.Lo Open Challenge. So let's go ahead and get into that match right now. Oop, there we go. You can find the theme of Mag.Lo, theme, and more at maglo.bandcamp.com. And Mag.Lo starting out the gate, just peppering Griffith with shots. He saw how effective a submission specialist that Griffith was in that Battle Royal. You gotta figure he can't let Griffith grab a hold of him. But Griffith able to get that double leg, get into that mount position. And right now, it is just... these two competitors seem so evenly matched. Mag.Lo now starting to work the legs of Griffith. Something he certainly was not expecting. Mag.Lo running the ropes, sliding D in the center of the ring. Ooh, Mag.Lo blocking that double leg, but Griffith responding back. Just rolls through with that armbar, but Mag.Lo to his feet first and hits that Hanma headbutt. And both competitors just circling one another, sizing each other up. Big knee to the gut from Mag.Lo. And once again just starts to work the legs of Griffith. Once again, that double leg takedown right into mounted punches. A lot being asked of Harada this evening as Harada counts for disqualification. Of course, you've got until 5. Mag.Lo already hitting that patented airplane spin, and that is going to get the crowd fired up. But the crowd is fired up. Griffith certainly trying to extinguish that flame, cutting Mag.Lo off at every step. Big headbutt from Mag.Lo. Mag.Lo now going up top. Thinks better of it as Griffith able to get to his feet. Mag.Lo once again, big headbutt. This time gonna connect with that flashing elbow right into the face of Griffith. Those open hand shots to the armored chest of Griffith. That speaks to the power of Mag.Lo, as that still put Griffith down onto the mat. Big sliding D. Looks like he's setting up for another one for good measure. 2 forearm smashes right to the side of the face. Big spinning toe hold. And once again, Griffith just showcasing that agility, that technical skill that you know he's got. Ooh, possibly going for another one of those double leg takedowns. This time Mag.Lo cuts him off. And big drop kick. He's been saving that for the last 7 minutes. Griffith once again goes for those mounted punches, just trying to brutalize Mag.Lo. But Mag.Lo, ever resilient. And Griffith just absolutely dirty fighting from Griffith, but Mag.Lo's not letting it keep him down. And oh my God, 1, 2. That was nearly enough. But Griffith somehow found it in him to kick out of that hold. Mag.Lo now. Is he corkscrew suicida off of the top rope?
5, 6, 7, 8,
Griffith locking on that armbar on the outside.
10, 11, 12,
Big Samoan drop from Mag.Lo, and Mag.Lo now
14,
getting a Singapore cane. And that will connect. Lift and dropping Griffith onto his neck.
10 minutes gone.
Uncharacteristic bit of frustration from Mag.Lo bringing that foreign object into this contest. And there is the clothesline from Bretton Woods. And he's setting up for something. Oh, does not connect with that springboard crossbody. Just a little bit off the mark. But does connect with a muscle buster. Sits out 1, 2, 3 count fall. Yeah, fuck Griffith, actually. Very seriously considered giving him the Hatsune Miku treatment, like I do for Benoit when I called his match, but I figured, well, we already said his name in the Battle Royal. But I gotta say, the one thing I was a little bit disappointed with is, like, considering Mag.Lo immediately hit the pinfall, like, on the next hold, I'm really saddened he didn't quite connect with the springboard crossbody, because that also ends in a pinning combination. I don't think he's ever hit that move, period. I don't think he's ever attempted that move. So to see him get a pinfall victory with it on his first attempt would have been extremely good. But sometimes this video game is this video game. But yeah, that's gonna conclude the officially sanctioned matches of tonight's show, as Mag.Lo protects this house from Griffith. I think we've got a lot to marinate on over the course of tonight's show, as Valdo making his presence felt up against David's investigation. And as I mentioned earlier, they are going to be going head-to-head in singles action next week. David's got to be close if Valdo felt the need to intervene in that singles contest. Of course, the JPW #1 Contenders tournament is on to the semifinals, which means we are just 2 weeks away from determining the #1 contender of the Judgment Pro Wrestling Championship that will be defended for the first time ever on Blake's House Television. But as I alluded to just moments ago, we of course do have an unsanctioned match on tonight's show. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get the Rapture going up against... I have passed KOF. I don't read. Oh, wait. Okay, I was just past it, period. Up against the American sports team. And let's go ahead and send that to the Sake Transport Outdoor Ring, as that is where the Knicks wrestling organizations like to base their shows out of. So let's go ahead and get this match underway. Now this is the Rapture wanted to do this one himself. That Knicks Wrestling Organization logo displayed proudly on the Rapture's nameplate. And he is going head-to-head against the entire American sports team. We have never seen a match quite like this one. 3-on-1 handicap match, but if anybody could do it, the Rapture just might be the guy. Clubbing blow to the back of the head. That's a good question. Because I feel like the dark is fun, but also like, all right, the official stream is over. Like, this match is not canon. So I guess this is technically a dark. So, like, yeah, we could just, like, hang out in the chat. And I did see what you were suggesting, James, about having the trios title, like, have people submit full teams in advance and we do like a tournament style format, which isn't bad. Like, obviously that's not viable while there's a tournament ongoing, but it's certainly a thing we could do. Because I guess, like, my rationale behind that match existing is... you know what I should have done is made this elimination, but if the Rapture just kills a guy, the match is just going to end. Oh shit, thank you for the host, Schnitzel. Don't know if you were aware, but you were in a wrestling match today. Went pretty well for you, actually. But I can't change the tournament because all the like arena settings are set up when you make the tournament, which is why when I did the trios tournament and I forgot to change the entry to team instead of single entry, I couldn't do it after I realized I fucked it up. But for the championship match, I can absolutely use the new arena for the title match. That is not an issue at all. And actually, for that show, like, I could just have that entire week's show in that arena. If the gimmick is going to be, hey, like, we're, like, at the JPW arena, we'll be there all day, that would make sense to me.
Oh, yeah.
Understand there is not a convenient place to leave feedback on how the trios format is working, but I mean, y'all know how to reach me if you've got suggestions for how I can make that more fun for you guys to watch. I think the Mag.Lo Battle Royal is still doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Because for the most part, Mag.Lo puts on good matches, everybody. And even if, like, one of the characters in that match is stupid busted, just the randomness of, hey, like, if you get sent to the outside from, like, a suplex, you're eliminated. It can kind of hide those issues. I gotta say, I am legitimately surprised the Rapture did not kill someone, because that's a thing he usually does. Yeah. So we checked the team, and like they're definitely overstated, for sure. I can check and see if the Rapture is updated. He shouldn't be. Like, I may have underestimated how overstated this team is. That is a very real possibility. Let me see here. But yeah, I'll check and see if the Rapture got updated. It shouldn't be, because those updates happen on boot, not, like, live. Because that would just be fucking wild. Let's see. Let's see. Still reborn, still power critical. So, like, yeah, no, that's still the good Rapture. But I think I am going to go ahead and call it here. That bonus match kind of took the place of the regular Dark. Yeah. So that's going to, like, really make me think about how we're going to handle that championship next week and in future weeks. Because our track record of having stupid overpowered teams is not great. Which, like I said, it kind of defeats the purpose of that format because it's not fun. But that is a conversation for a later time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find somebody to host, or to throw you guys to. Let's see, is anybody doing anything tonight? Let's see. You know, that is an idea that you've got that would both get the belts off of this team that's not very interesting to watch and also go into a storyline. So, yeah, you have an idea that is not bad. I'm going to throw you to Melly, and it appears as though she's playing Tony Hawk, whatever the hell the modded Tony Hawk is. Let's see here. It's a thing you don't gotta worry about. Like, that's an upcoming arc that James has pitched that will be happening at some point in the future, and that is all that you need to know this early. But I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys to Melly. I'm pretty sure she's playing Tony Hawk. And then I am going to go ahead and bail out. So, let's see. Yeah, so I do this typically every, typically do this every Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. This week was a small exception. If I do anything midweek, cool. Don't expect it. But hopefully, if you liked what you saw, and if you're watching this on YouTube, go to twitch.tv/MondayCindy. Hopefully, see you next week and many weeks in the future. But I'm going to go ahead and kick you guys out of here. I will catch y'all down the road.